Hey, this is Jesse with Create This. So in the last video, we refactored the Nature Starter Kit 2 scene and we installed VRWorks, but we didn't actually test out any of the capabilities of VRWorks. So today, we're going to go ahead and test that out. So here on the screen, I've got a VRWorks game object, an empty VRWorks game object that I created, and I put a script on there. We're going to take a look at that real quick. Pretty basic stuff. I created my own enum called Features that contains all of the VRWorks features, and I added a custom script that I found out on the Unity forums that allows you to turn that into a multi-select box in the editor. So what you can do is you can select multiple options if you want, but I found out later that that isn't really necessary. If you select like single pass stereo and lens match shading, that works, but you could also just select lens match shading and it automatically enables single pass stereo. So it turned out that wasn't really necessary, but it's there. So the documentation from Unity, or I guess it's from NVIDIA here, for Unity, says that you should just do using nvidia.vrworks, and that doesn't work. I don't know if maybe they're using a newer version of C# than I am, but VRWorks is a game object. That's actually defined on the eye right here. It's a script that you have to add to the eye. I showed how to do that in the previous video. So really the code that they're showing you right here only works if you do it inside this VRWorks script, and I didn't want to do that, so I created a separate script. That way if I upgrade VRWorks in the future, it's not going to break anything. Anyway, so you can take a look at that script. It's out on the GitHub repository. There's a link down below the video if you want to click through to the GitHub repository and check out the code. But basically what I do is I just enable the features based on that multi-select. So what this allows you to do, it's pretty cool, is it allows you to enable and disable VRWorks from a little checkbox between play iterations. And the other thing that I did is I went into, let's see, first let's go to quality. Let's set it to medium because medium was the highest level of quality that I could enable before. And then we'll go to player. And the other thing that I did is I changed stereo rendering method to single pass. I'm not sure if that's necessary or not, but it has this blurb about single pass stereo in the documentation. It says, I read this last time in the last video, single pass stereo should not be confused with Unity's single pass stereo mode. VRWorks single pass stereo is a hardware feature on Pascal or newer GPUs, which enables rendering of both left and right eyes at the same time. Without VRWorks single pass stereo, Unity's single pass stereo still has to process each geometry twice on the GPU. I had to play with this for a little bit because I think when I switched over to using my Elgato game capture, it lowered the resolution of my monitor from 4K down to 1080p, and I think that had a pretty substantial effect because before I couldn't run high resolution with fairly high frame rates without VRWorks on, but that was with the 4K monitor resolution. With the 1080p monitor resolution, I seem to be able to run high detail level without VRWorks on. I still can't do anything higher than high quality, but so what does VRWorks buy you? Well, in this case, I don't think I'm pixel or vertex bound. I think I'm more CPU bound. What I have noticed is that with VRWorks off, I can't turn up super sampling. I feel like there are fewer frame rate drops with super sampling at 1.0. I certainly can't go all the way up to 1.6. Let's try that without VRWorks turned on. Yeah, super choppy, okay? And you can see the frame rate is all the way down to 50, right? Now, let's go ahead and turn VRWorks on here. Give it a chance to ramp up. And there we go, 100 FPS. So what's happening there? Well, lens match shading, if we take a look at the developer page, VRWorks features can provide boost in performance in certain scenarios where bottleneck is on the GPU side. SPS can improve performance in geometry-bound scenes, while LMS can help in pixel-bound scenarios. So what we're doing is when we bump up super sampling, we're making ourselves pixel-bound, I believe, because we're increasing the resolution of each eye. So just by turning on LMS, we can support a higher super sampling rate. So anyway, this whole project is available on GitHub. There's a link down below the video in the description. Check it out yourself on your GPU. See which combinations of quality you can run. And if you're a developer, consider adding VRWorks to your project, because even if you can't see an immediate difference yourself, your users might with different graphics cards. They might be able to run better super sampling rates. You know, it seems like a free boost in performance for the most part, so check it out. In the next video, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my 1080 Ti and I'm going to replace it with my older 980 Ti, dual 980 Ti's in an SLI configuration. I'm really curious what VRWorks will do with VR SLI, because that's one of the things that it enables. So that'll be interesting. Stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and check out our Patreon also down below the video. Thanks. Bye.